Hello there and feel very welcome to another exciting floppy preservation tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to open a little mystery box. Whoa, this mystery box, I know pretty much about what it's inside, and it contains some kind of bad conditions floppies. So let's go!
Go, 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 go.
Alright, so this box contains some kind of mixed floppies. These are probably some kind of Amiga floppies or PC floppies. I am not entirely sure. Here we can see. I'm not sure if you can read that label there, but it says Amiga. Indeed, these are good stuff, I believe. Amiga floppies. This is cool. But in this case, or actually in this segment, we are going to focus on these floppies. So let's start it. Yeah, so we are back in the preservation mine. The preservation mine. That is actually the best place to be at. The thing was that some kind of things were happening outside in the streets and making one hell of a noise, so I couldn't be there. But anyhow, like I said, these floppies are looking kind of ooky-dook. But when we are looking at the actual... Let me just get a little light for us here. Let's see. Now we can point on the whole situation, so to say. So we see it better. If we are looking here... Ooh, do you see what I see? Yes, I assume that you can see there are some kind of dust there. But this is not the ordinary kind of dust. No, what this is fungus actually. Whoa, fungus. Yeah, fungus is a little bit of a particular thing that should be treated very, very carefully. Background history of the floppies. The floppies are from a local workshop. The owner had the Commodore 128 computer, a floppy drive 1541, and a printer as well. He got around 200 floppies in his workshop. As little help for work I did, the reward was the computer as well as the floppies and more. When we picked up everything into my car, we discovered rainwater had made its way from a leak in the roof straight into the floppy box, hence the fungus and the mold. The floppies had been stored in a warehouse over the cold winters and warm summers. 20 years later, they are in my embrace, ready to be preserved. The thing is, if we are looking at this dirt bag here, we can see that there is no lie that this one has been probably looking at about 20 years of dust and mold. So these are kind of not the best floppies to play with. These floppies has been through wet and dry, and that's no understatement, I can tell you. Because, well, like this one too, doesn't look too good actually. You can see that the sleeve is almost falling off. Oh wow, this is not good. Look at my fingers. Whoa, where have they been? So yeah, we're just gonna, continue to look through here. We can see that this is no exception here. Oh, this one is really in a bad condition, I can tell you. Whoa, and this one contains some kind of test disc. Whoa, that one is bad. Whoa. Yeah, this one I cannot even... Whoa, oh no. Is it just me, or is this kind of a spider web? Whoa. Nah, it can't be that bad, or I don't really care, but I'm definitely really curious to, get my hands on these. Ooh, a bath. Ooh. Wow. That one almost has like some kind of a soapy thing. Like I said before the light turned off. It has some kind of soapy thing there. So, yeah. Oh, wow. This is like a lump. Let's just listen to it. Wow, I cannot even open it. Well, I can, but I'm risking to damage the... Oh yeah, I'm glad I stopped. But this one is, wow. This is crazy. Look. And now you're asking yourself that magical question. Is this guy really mentally stable? Is he really, under full control? And the answer is yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm totally sane. There's no way I'm gonna get this one up. Nope, this one is really, look here. We need something. Get some tools here. Preparing the work a little bit. There we go. We can see the title here. Skate or Die. Wow, so I get myself a good reward when I'm done with these. That doesn't look too shabby actually. It's actually okay. I have prepared three kind of, boxes. One is for Commodore 128 stuff, one is for Commodore 64, and one is for unknown stuff. Because I noticed as I browsed through these floppies that some of them were kind of, unknown, so I put them in the unknown basket there. So I'm just gonna continue to sort this out. There we go, everything is kind of sorted out. So you might ask yourself, or ask me, why the heck did you do all this? Well, the thing was that when I looked here, I saw that some of the Commodore 128 stuff were also like CP/M+ stuff. And this is Commodore 64 stuff, and this, I don't know what it is. So I just wanted to separate them, because when I'm going to preserve these later, oh yeah, trust me, I will. I want to have some kind of organization so I know which drive to use and how to do it the proper way. Now is the boring part to wash these up first, take off the clothes, then you baste them. In another tutorial I showed you how to open these floppies up, and we are gonna do that about the same this time. So we need some kind of knives. Here I have one knife, here I have another knife, another one, and here I have the big bad boy. First we're gonna just, sharpen it up a little bit so we know what we're dealing with. Ta-da! Sharp as a needle. We're gonna do it carefully here. We're gonna go just scrub it up a little bit. Just like that, and we're going to do it at the other way too. That's why we have, some other knives as well, so we can kind of, do it like that. Now we are going to see what we are dealing with here. There we go. Just gonna fold it back. And as we can see, this one didn't look too bad, but there are some kind of, here. There are some bad spots. And beneath here, this is where situation, this look kind of healthy, but I don't want to risk anything. These were kind of the 128 stuff, so it's going in there. Well, I'm just gonna, just because I'm curious, didn't look too bad, just like in the middle. This sleeve is going right away to the bin. I got some work to do. See you in a while. Time consuming. We ended up with this. Now we are gonna wash these babies. finger warm water. That is the best. This time we are dealing with fungus/mold, and we need to understand how it works. Just make sure that you can touch the water. It shouldn't be burning hot, but it shouldn't be, like freezing cold. Once done with that, just go with your favorite, whatever soap. Just a little bit, good for extra. And then you just kind of, putting them in, mix it up, the solution, because now we're gonna, do it. Just by touching the floppies, I can see that, that was not the really best solution, right? But remember the pads I was talking about earlier on? You just kind of, doing it gently, gently. Just scrubbing it. I mean, you don't have to go crazy here when scrubbing. That's not the point. In this case, I'm just going, like always, gently. Just, touching them. Sometimes it's nice to get touched. So, we're getting here. Yeah. Wow. Remember these dirt bags? It is almost like auto cleaning. They have been auto cleaning there. But these are kind of light, the light versions of what we have in the other box, the Commodore 64 box, so to speak. Whoa, that one was really nasty. So, but this is it. This is the only way to do it. So I'm just gonna continue the rest here, and I will see you in a little while, I guess. Not too bad. Everything is done. So now we're gonna rinse them off. And now there's just that little time to wait before the floppies, or actually the floppy disks, are getting totally dry. When looking at the results, I am really pleased with what I'm seeing. If we are inspecting a little bit closer here, we can just lift one up and we can light it from different angles to kind of see. Yeah, there are some kind of dents here and there, not dents but some marks. These I can rescue. Yeah, that's just some kind of, I don't know what that was, but it doesn't belong there. There are no problems here. That I can also fix with some kind of isopropanol alcohol. I'm just gonna sit myself down here another 20 minutes or so and clean this up. Yeah, so after cleaning up the floppies, they kind of turn out in a good way. All those dirt or whatever it was is kind of gone now, and I am at the moment reading everything with my little drive here. Even though it makes those little noises, indicating that the disk can't be read, it's not really true, because I'm using a program that will kind of force and read each of the sectors more than one time. So it kind of helps to, get things right. But before going through the Commodore 64 disks, I kind of assume that everything here is Commodore 64 related or 128 related. I thought that these nasty 12 disks in that unknown box, so to speak, they were also going to be dissolved and kind of exposed. And yeah, I was so right. Well, they maybe don't look that bad at first sight, but I mean, when we are kind of going here in focus, so to say, we can sure see that some of them are really nasty. This one, for instance, if we are zooming in a little bit here, we can see that, well, as well for that one, ain't coming near my floppy drive, that's for sure, because, well, it will just cause, reading errors. As the other floppies were kind of drying off, I took my chance to sort out these double-sided floppies. This is the naked result, so to speak, and I think I was a little bit fast to climb up that success mountain, so to speak, because when looking at this one, Whew, alright, so these are really bad. There's no joke about it. These are rough and tough. So let's get going. One of the floppies were so kind of, mold, so I had to cut it apart to even get it opened up. Ooh, you can see there are even some fragments on there. Oh my gosh, that's some kind of nasty mess. Wow, now would you look at that? Look at all these magnetic discs. They are nothing like they were before. I'm pretty excited about the result. I'm even impressed that I was able to rescue them or restore them. As we can see, there are no visible marks of that nasty old dust and mold and fungus or whatever it was. And if we are looking at the back side, there are no marks whatsoever. These are clean, and this is proof. I mean, I would be damned to lie to you if I couldn't stand for what I'm saying. And things seems to go really smooth, as we can see. It's reading everything correctly. This is looking very great. So we just have a few more discs to go. Everything is coming to an end, and so is this too. So how was this even possible? Well, if we're starting with the 128 floppies, or actually the batch, I choose to call them batch. I have been kind of, putting them in a plastic bag here because we all know that dust, it's even worse than that. It's dust and fungus and mold. These are not something you want to have in your room. But still I was able to preserve these because I washed them, as we saw earlier on. And when I preserved them, I had to do multiple readings. And this is my little book. Well, it's not a book, but it's kind of to keep things in order, to be able to know what's to be expected and what's to do. So what I did was that I marked here, these are the actual tracks. If we are looking in a little bit there, you can see that these are track 22 and 23. I had some kind of problems with them, so I had to reread them some kind of times, and for each of these there are separate files created. And if we're looking at this one, floppy number 2, that one just had problems with track 6, and floppy 3 was okay, etc, etc. But this one here, the floppy 5 and 6, they were horrendous, I had to do a lot of rereads. And what I mean with that is the following thing. Let's just give a little small example here. As we all know, this is a floppy drive, or actually floppy disk, that's the little hole. The floppy has a lot of tracks going here. Yeah, they are going around here, that's the track. And each of the tracks are constructed with sectors. Let's say that this track has some kind of errors. So I'm making a file for that one called TR10, for instance. And we also have some issues with the other one here, that is TR12. And we are going in here, and that one here is also a problem with that track, and that might be track, say, 23. So to be able to kind of rebuild this, a whole disk image from track 1 to 35, and that one is one file here. Okay, so that's one file. But also, like I said, if we are having some kind of issues, problems with certain tracks, I need to read these. and save them as separate files, which I later on combining to a new image here. That's the new image, okay? And the new image contains the whole track I made there, plus the individual tracks of, in this case, 10, 12 and 23 to have a 100% image of the entire floppy. And to make one track, I mean to read out one track, it can take anything from a couple of seconds to minutes. Let's go back here and see. This is 11 floppies, and the time it took me to read 11 floppies, and remember, this is only side A, was I am always making a lot of notes so I can come back and see what's going on. I started about 9 p.m. at the 5th of June, and I stopped 1:04 a.m. So it took like 5 hours to just do 11 floppies. So it's kind of a time-consuming work, but there are really no shortcuts. And these floppies I washed. So I also had another scenario of some floppies that I did not wash. These, and I have written on well, one of the better hardcover sleeves here, I have written all the tracks here, and we can see that even though, well, it's kind of, there are more floppies here, but we can see that I'm having kind of more issues with these than I had with the other ones, in a way. I'm gonna come back to that also, why it's like that. And these unknowns floppies, they are also preserved, fixed, one side and two-sided floppies. And this is for the, I mean, this is kind of 40 floppies. And for the 40 floppies, I only had to do like a few rereads. So you can see what I'm trying to say here, that if you don't wash the floppies, or you are assuming that they will work, you will have to do things many times, over and over and over, rereads. That will kind of wear down the readings on your floppy. It will cost you a lot of times, and you are risking to damage the floppies. But if you're cleaning them and doing it the proper way, this is what you get. So if you are, what I'm trying to say, the conclusion is, clean your floppies. It will save time and it will save the floppies. That's about it. And I have also been asked many times, what kind of hardware do I use to preserve my floppies? Well, my general purpose device is the Ekstrand floppy. It works very nice, and I'm having it to this drive here that is doing a very nice job. It also have a parallel cable, so it can read a little bit faster, and if I had to do some nibbling and stuff like that, I'm using that as well. I'm also using the Cryoflux, which is connected to this lovely little drive here, which is, yeah, that's kind of it. Anyhow guys, I hope this has been some kind of informative for you, and I hope you have been enjoying watching it, because it's been a pleasure for me to make it, and I'm sure that I will make more crazy tutorials about how to rescue floppies and do some more floppy preservation videos, etc. And leave comments below if you want something. Please give this video a thumbs up and like it, share it, whatever you want. And if you are really special and really kind, please consider support my Patreon. So I will see you in another one. Bye!